And here we are for 2025. We are getting your arts back into gear.
We're back. He actually got me to come back. I can't believe it. You had a
neither
chance.
can I.
You could have
I can't
changed your
believe it
address
either.
and not told me. But it's happened before.
I was going to change so much more, but anyway, you still found me.
I still found you.
Happy New Year, mate.
Happy New Year,
All
Brad.
jokes aside,
All
it's great
jokes
to have you around
and
again.
you know what? It's great to be back. This is really exciting. I love this. Is our first session for 2025. And, you know, mate, there's so much on the books already.
Yeah, on
Heaps.
Ipswich's favourite arts podcast.
Number one, mate, not favourite. We're number one Ipswich.
All right.
I keep
You
saying
keep
we're
carrying
number one.
that one.
Well, we are number one because we're the only one. But besides that,
Your logic is flawless, mate.
I have got two very special guests with me today. We've got Andrea Baumert Howard and Donalee Moriarty, who are going to be the very first exhibition for 2025 in Ipswich, let alone the Community Gallery.
Oh,
How exciting is that?
That's very
really amazing.
exciting. That's
and
amazing.
what we've got is two people who've come together with a textile artist and paper and a clay art and artist in clay. So we've got paper and clay. Now, I'm going to pass it over to you girls because you really need to tell us how you came together and all about your exhibition. Don't look at each other.
As they both look at each other saying, who wants to talk first?
Well, let's talk about how you got together first because that's an interesting story.
Okay, so both Donalee and I have been to several of the Articulate workshops that Council put on last year, and we met for the first time through there. And then the Community Gallery opened up expression of interest for exhibitions. I applied, and Donalee applied separately. And then we got a message from Ali from the council and said, hey, you guys should work together. And that's how we...
And that was because you both talked about architecture in your responses. And
We did, and I think that's where the synergy came from because there were similarities around what Andrea's doing in paper and what I'm doing in clay.
In clay, which is incredible because it's so different, yet same but different, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you came together and... Like, was it a bit nerve-wracking? Because especially you hadn't really met, really, had you, before you got thrown together. So it was like, you're working with her, get over it. No. So it was exciting or a bit nerve-wracking?
A little bit nerve-wracking to start with because we're such different artists. I mean, I like the juxtaposition of the ephemeral quality of the paper versus the more permanence of the clay. So that was fun. But because we both enjoy architecture and that sort of geometrical. Yeah.
So it's not me stumbling this time. Yeah. Oh, that's
it
great.
works nice.
Yeah. But I think it's such a, like, when I actually saw the exhibition coming up, because I remember way back last year when we were talking about it, because you had to wait a whole year before this exhibition came on. And I remember you saying, you were working with this Donald, and I hadn't met you or knew you before then either. And it was quite funny then when I met you at the Art Awards, I went, oh, yeah, I know you. And I thought, oh, yeah, he's going to work great. And so this is going to be a very exciting exhibition. So you've got the pottery as well as the visual, I suppose, I don't know what you call your work. It's
no, I'm not sure either. It's paper.
It's paper. Yeah, well, it's paperwork.
Yeah.
So it's going to look phenomenal. And you've actually both been award winners at certain stages. What little prizes and things have...
Finalist in a couple of ceramics awards, the National Emerging Art Prize and the North Queensland Ceramics Awards and Ceramics Arts Queensland Silicius Awards.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
now, Andrea,
it is.
you've won awards as well.
I have, yes.
Yeah. So there are award winners. But the most exciting thing, you've just come back from England doing a workshop?
I spent 5 days with a potter in Kent. His name was Paul Waring, and he's just awesome. If you don't know his work, he's just amazing. And I flew all the way to England to spend 5 days with him and a bunch of other English people, and we just had the best time. It's just so good.
And it was like creating. So did you get to bring anything back, or did it get broken?
I didn't bring anything of mine back because it wasn't worth bringing back. But I did get to get a pot of Paul's from him directly, which is always great when you can buy a piece that you
straight
love
off the
directly
artist.
from the artist. Yeah.
And what inspired you to go to England? Was this that you've always inspired that artist, or?
I love doing residential workshops, so I've been to the Sturt Studios in Mittagong for many, many years, but it's closed down last year. So we're waiting on its future.
Okay.
Which is,
Yeah.
that was 5 days of artists. You could, be having breakfast with an oil painter and lunch with a sculptor and dinner with
I
textile.
love all those sorts of
it's
things.
just amazing.
Yeah.
So hoping that comes back to life
Yeah.
too sometime this year.
Yeah, well, I did a workshop at Boona once, so that was okay. So
The dizzy heights of the
Dizzy
Boomba.
Heights have been like,
Boona's awesome.
Actually, it is awesome. They've got some amazing artists down there. But it's just incredible, like, how you've all come together. But what before we get into all about your exhibition, where it is and that, we do have to go to a break, and then we'll come back, and then we'll need to talk about where and when this amazing exhibition is going to be on. Okay? So stay with us. Don't go. You can't anyway. I've locked the door.
Oh,
And
good to know that now.
anyway, Brad, over to you.
All right. We're coming back for part 2 as we get your arts into gear on West Baumert Radio.
Check Air Conditioning is excited to announce they are now offering electrical works. From general electrical repairs and service upgrades to ceiling fans, smoke alarms, power points and so much more. And don't forget, we are also still your go-to name for all things air conditioning. Check Air Conditioning has been your trusted family-owned and operated air conditioning specialist for over 25 years. And now, let them look after your electrical needs. To book your free air conditioning or electrical quote, visit chekair.com.au. Quote conditions apply.
Part 2, getting your arts into gear. The first one for 2025, online and also on the free West Baumert Radio app.
Mate, the first one for many.
Yeah. Well, I hope you'll stick around
I am
for the
going to
full
stick
year,
around.
mate.
We've got to stick around. But look, guys, we're talking about clay and paper and clay, which is a new exhibition happening starting on the 9th, going through to the 19th.
So Thursday.
Starting Thursday. I know, gosh, girls. And I believe Andrea hasn't even bloody framed her work yet, so she's got a lot of work to do. But we've got examples of the work here. So we've got, obviously, Andrew's the paper worker, and obviously Donalee's the clay worker. And you can actually see the architectural feel of your work, so that's pretty incredible.
And it's heavy. If
And
I
it's
threw
heavy,
it at
so-
you, it would kill you.
But we're looking at what, about 20 pieces each?
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay, so it's
Roughly,
going to be
yeah.
so it's going to be a good exhibition.
Yes.
Now, Community Art Gallery.
Yes.
9th to the 19th,
Yes.
open daily from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. But the opening is this Saturday, the 11th, at 5 p.m. and it's free.
It is, of
And
course.
everyone is welcome to come.
We would love to have you celebrate with us.
Definitely, because there's nothing better than getting in there and supporting local artists. Even if you just turn up and show, your support. That's what we're looking for. And hopefully buy something, because they'll be for sale.
Yes.
Look at that. And the best way to show support is buying it. That's the best way to
Come
show
and
it.
have a conversation with us and let
Yeah.
us talk to you about our processes.
Which is really good, because I've actually, Andrea, actually people won't, but Andrea and I actually had probably our first real art exhibition together, didn't we? We started
did.
off
Yep.
together.
We did.
Only a couple of years ago when we were both young and
yeah.
pretty. But
Over 10 years ago now.
I don't even say that. But I can't believe we're still going. And I think that's what it is inspiring, to see artists, their journey, and your work you were doing then is completely different to what you're doing now.
Yes, it is.
So it's so great to see the journey that you've been on. And I'm really excited to say I'm a little part of that,
Can I just ask, Andrea, and I'll probably relay the same question to Donalee
here we go,
as
here we
well. Why paper?
Right. So when I started, I was a drawer. So I would draw everything. And then, of course, as a drawer, you have a lot of shit drawings that you just screw up and
Do we
throw
have to
away.
cut that?
We'll be all right.
It's okay, family friendly.
It's only 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's all
It'll be
right, it's okay. No, the kids aren't up yet.
All right, so I would have a lot of rubbish drawings that I would just throw away. And then after a while, I've gone, well, that's wasteful. So I tried to recycle the paper. And then when I started recycling the paper, there was such a satisfaction to the way the paper was created, to make the paper, and then realising that something that was rubbish is now beautiful again.
Yeah. So recycling has become a big
100%.
part of it.
Yep.
And I think you do a lot of brochures and junk mail recycling as well.
yes.
So you're actually doing good for the environment.
I am, yep.
Now,
Thank you.
Yeah. Tell me.
After you, Donalee.
Why clay?
I didn't start in clay. I started, it's a story. Can I tell a story?
Oh,
Yeah,
of
sure.
course.
I love stories.
That's what radio's for.
I bought 2 pots made out of cement, and they were fairly rustic looking, and I took them home, and my husband said to me, "How much did you pay for and I told him the number, and he said, right, you're getting 2 bags of cement for Christmas. And he gave me 2 bags of cement to make my own pots. So I moved mould making cement, plaster, resin, and then I moved into slip casting clay, and that's when I started clay. So I don't slip cast anymore, but I do slab building. So all my stuff is slab built.
Oh,
it's so interesting how they just catch on to these things. That's all.
I think the journey is really important because it is amazing that, as Sedan just had off doing line drawings. You know, I think when I first met you, you were doing line drawings, and now you're doing paper moulding and whatever else you're doing with it, and you've gone from buying from a cement pot to doing slab. Like, it's amazing how your journey does travel and change, which is what art is about, experimenting and learning, and that's the fun part. And you're actually doing a course diploma in art at the moment?
I'm doing a Bachelor of Visual Arts at University of Southern Queensland.
Wow, so that's pretty impressive, Yeah, but it's so exciting, and I think being the very first exhibition of the year, I cannot wait to get along and see it. There's Nibblies, isn't there?
Of course there is.
God, thanks.
Jeez, Glenn's
I just wanted to know if I had to bring my own. That's
always wine and cheese, Glenn.
There's always wine and cheese. I love it. And as I said, it's free, Community Art Gallery, 9th to the 19th, 10 to 3 p.m. daily. But the opening is the 11th at 5 p.m. and everyone's welcome, and please go along and support our very first art exhibition for 2025.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you, ladies, for coming in.
You forgot my name already, mate. It's only been a week.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Out of sight, out of mind. It's all right.
Thank you, Glenn Smith.
Thank you, Brad. And thank you, Andrew and Donalee. Thank you very much.
We're back next week, getting your arts into gear right here on Westboro Radio.